So I'm Alvaro Sanchez, General Manager at Integrasys. We are hosting the panel discussion about understanding the return on investment and the teleport opportunities. I would like to ask our panelists to introduce themselves, their company. I would like to start with Terry Newman.
Certainly. I'm Terry Newman from iDirect, Director of Business Development. iDirect is one of the leading manufacturers of VSAT infrastructure in the satellite industry. We've been providing infrastructure solutions for over 20 years to many different satellite service providers and satellite operators. We have over 350 satellite operators, satellite service providers around the globe who use our infrastructure technology to either enable their service or connect to the satellites. We've deployed over 3,500 hubs and have over 300,000 plus terminals deployed globally. We focus on a number of different vertical markets and have developed a lot of different technology to support the different vertical markets. And we continue to develop and enhance our platform, not only for kind of the existing wide beam satellites, but new HTS technologies and other technologies that are coming down the road.
My name is Hugo Frega. I work for Hughes as a director for Latin America. Hughes is a satellite manufacturer. We ship more than 1 million VSATs all over the world. We've been in the market for over 30 years. And we are also satellite service provider. We are the major satellite service provider in the world, broadband services, and we are extending now our services into Latin America, and both in consumer and enterprise. So this is interesting topic because to understand the economics of this, we need to address all the segments. So it's going to be very, very interesting panel.
So my name is Ítalo. I'm representing Telespazio. Telespazio is the oldest satellite company in the world, and we also have international presence around the globe. And talking specifically about Telespazio Brazil, Telespazio is one of the oldest company operating about something around 20 years in Brazil, and we also have more than 8,000 VSATs.
Hello, my name is Jose Torres. I'm the sales director with Integrasys. Integrasys is an innovative company. We develop tools for commissioning, maintenance, and monitoring of satellite networks.
Which are your competitive advantages for providing your services as well as your products to your customers, and how they can benefit from your technology?
With iDirect, a lot of our focus from the get-go has been how to provide a flexible infrastructure platform to really allow our customers or the service providers to make the most out of their investment in our technology. So allowing them to stand up a single platform, but that also enables them to actually provide service to many different vertical markets, allows them to see a quicker return on their own investment. That is very important as they're looking to say, okay, this is a big outlay of money they're having to make, and they're making a bet on where their future is going to be from a business perspective. We don't want to limit them to one specific area, but really enable them to be able to offer multiple different services to different customer bases, and to be able to see their fastest return on investment from that perspective. I think we also have a very strong presence in mobility. That was one of our differentiators. We've created a lot of different features through the years to support mobility environments and mobility connectivity, and definitely have been focused at that enterprise level service. And that's what has helped differentiate iDirect in a market and create the focus we have had.
Well, for our customers, the interesting point that we offer is that we cover all the segments. We cover the technology, not only the technology that we've been, manufacturing for many years. We cover the satellite segment. That is an important piece for our business. So for all that we are in here, we understand that the satellite cost is an important part, the recurrent cost. So for that is that we are start developing since 2008, providing our own satellite infrastructure on Ka-band. So HTS definitely is the way we are seeing that the market is moving. And we've been providing the complete segment of solutions. So the market, as we heard this morning when we heard the teleport, basically prospective of the market, we feel that the traditional service provider is kind of changing. They are more focused on the customer application. So for that, we are providing important kind of backup to our customer for them to focus into the market, into the end customer, and for us to provide the complete solution that we understand very well and important cost saving.
One of the main competitive advantages for Telespazio is the company flexibility in the use of agnostic solutions. I mean, Telespazio also tries to take advantage of any technology evolution in order to get better tailor-made solutions and better cost. So agnostic solutions is one of our main drives of operation based on evolution of shifting market.
Well, Integrasys it's a innovative company, so we focus on innovation. So everything that is happening in the industry, we want to be there. So as Hugo and Terry describe and Telespazio describe is we work with everybody. So one of our advantages is that we are agnostic, so we work with all the different networks, and we're flexible. So we are open to support many technologies, and we focus on the different business models, which could be the capex or opex, and so always we tell our partners and our customers that there's always going to be a return of the investment on these solutions.
So joining what all panelists said, STS is a major driver. We also saw in the WTA report, Leo, Mio, also we hear about understanding the return on investment are critical pieces for the new era of satellite, which let's say that we are having a facelift. So which are the tools that you currently use, provide, or show them to your customers in service or in product portfolio for providing a better return on investment, a better OPEX savings in this case?
Okay, well, as I mentioned, the return of investment, we really emphasize a lot on that. There's always the question about, okay, I'm going to invest in a new software, a new commissioning tool, when I'm going to get the return of that investment. So that's what we do. I mean, that's our core business. We see the return on investment very quickly in all our tools that we provide. We see it in sometimes, if it's a small network, it could take a little longer. If it's a bigger network, the return is very quickly. We see it particularly on these large deployments where it's you set up a large group of people on the field, and how much money you spend on the logistics, on all the installation. I mean, we always provide the tools that will allow you to save money on that process.
In terms of reduction of the operational expenses, Telespazio has been created some distributed logistics centers around the country in order to cover all the territory, and in order to guarantee a cost reduction and fast delivered solutions as well. And another point to be highlighted is the reduction of our mainly cost input, I mean the satellite band cost. For strategic partnerships, Telespazio is trying to have some flexibility in terms of time, cost, and contractual premises in order to adequate in a market of constant change. In terms of ROI, we have greater challenge since it means to reevaluate our business model in order to guarantee the ROI?
Time to market is very important. So for our customers, the important fact is at what time they can start, invoicing the end user, the company, the enterprise. So for that, we are integrating our back office is kind of an important tool to the technology, to the satellite. But what we are giving them is in very value module that is the integration with the back office with tools like yours, that we are bringing integrated in our system, that will allow it immediately, whenever remote is installed, to start immediately in service and to start, producing, revenues for our customers. So that's the focus that we are providing. And of course, every single of those elements will introduce the efficiency, the bits per hertz, and so on and so forth. But that part is very important.
I was going to comment probably along the same line as Hugo. When you look at what we as an infrastructure provider work on, we're constantly trying to figure out how to provide an ROI in almost all of the things we approach. If you look at the efficiency of the bandwidth within the network, we're always trying to find the max bits per hertz possible, looking at DVB-S2X and other ways to make the most of that capacity. And even if it is going to expand, you still want to use it efficiently and use it in the right way. And so how are you pooling it? How are you structuring it? How are you setting it up? How is your customer able to do the SLAs around it? From a management perspective, you want to provide that ROI and the proper tools. So we have the proper hooks into our system that they can pull the information they need and create the tools and create the reports that they need to their customers to deliver on their SLAs. So we want to provide value in that piece of the business as well. And then ultimately driving down costs. So you look at the installation process, you look at the commissioning process. How do you help them drive down costs? That's where the Integrasys tool plays a great role for our customers to help drive down that end customer deployment cost and help with the installation and commissioning. So lots of different areas we can focus on to help in that.
Currently, there are many new entries in the satellite business. Facebook is starting to invest. SpaceX is starting to invest in constellations. There are about 30 already announced serious constellations programs. What do you think that the teleports they require for addressing these new opportunities that massive connectivity demands will drive things to these new constellations? Which are the things that you think that the teleports will need to adapt and will need for addressing LEO constellations and MEO constellations in that massive market that we hear about, tens of thousands of satellites?
Telespacio has made efforts in order to supply ground as a service. I mean, to provide all the necessary infrastructure. For example, for the satellite operators. Through our international footprint, we have been trying to make best fit solutions in order to help the market in these new opportunities.
Well, we are a big part of that. So unfortunately, we continue believing in that in the satellite market. So I was part of the story that whenever was in doubt the satellite against the fiber to cover fiber to everybody. And then fortunately we are here. We continue talking about satellite. That's good. And more, we are, as Hughes, we are very serious investing in broadband satellite. As I said, Latin America, I'm very happy for that. But also, for example, Africa, one of our partners, IASA, is very much into that and is our customer. We are a part of OneWeb, so basically that is also our investment and it's our vision where the market is going. And for that, the key to answer you, Alvaro, is the integration, because more and more those technologies will require distribute as what is called gateway beams and user beams in different parts of the world, even though the same company. So integration, logic integration will be key for going time to the market and easily administration of that to offer the installers a quick tool. So that is going to be important part for you, no?
I think it's very exciting that we're seeing a lot of the investment from some of these new companies and the interest in satellites from some very big names. I think what still will probably need to be determined is how do these networks actually get deployed? Are they going to be more open, or are they going to be more of a closed environment? I think the actual investment you need to make in the infrastructure and in the ground infrastructure to enable these is a very expensive proposition to a lot of companies. When you look at feeder links or, areas like that, is a teleport going to be within a feeder link within where they're deploying one of these networks and be able to put that infrastructure into place or do it on behalf of the satellite operator? I'm not sure that's going to be something that'll be feasible. So I think it'll be interesting to see how these networks get deployed and how the operators themselves can do that. That being said, we're trying to bring down the cost of our capability and in the hub and in the cloud compute environment. And so there may be some angles there where the teleport operators can actually go in and have the ability to access some of the capacity on these new satellites or be able to take advantage of it or build new services and support some of the applications that may be driving this in the IoT space or connecting into your terrestrial networks. So they may be able to do some development there. But to me, it's still to be determined on how some of these networks get built and deployed.
But we fully agree that there are some major opportunities for teleports throughout the panel.
Yeah, I think there's still opportunity there for them, and they are having to change their business models, and you've seen some consolidation. You've seen them trying to analyze where they want to take their business, because their business is changing as well. But there definitely is opportunity there for them if they find the right path and the right angle.
Jose, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I think what is happening, the industry is changing, and you mentioned LEO, HTS. We see a lot of trend, and the trend in the industry, like everybody wants to be able to see a network from wherever you are. So in this case, we see a lot of potential, particularly with one of our tools, which is the ControlSat, which allows you to monitor any teleport in any location. So talking about multi-teleports, multi-beams, multi-satellites, we see that is happening now. Everybody is talking about monitoring a beam in North America, and the gateway or teleport, whatever you want to call it, is in South America. So geographically, you are in a different location. So, but you are able to access the tools, the NMS or whatever tool you have remotely. So we have a tool that allows you to do that.
So a question for Terry, Hugo, and Ital. We see that your business have been growing significantly. We see that you are one of the major partners and a major company in the market. How do we help you, and how can we help you even better throughout the future in your initiatives?
Integrasys has been helping Telespazio with innovative solutions, and this can help the company to differentiate itself in an increasingly competitive market. So ControlSat, with ControlSat software, Telespazio is reducing the contractual penalties and as well the troubleshooting response time. It's better with the use of ControlSat. So I see with a good tool, and we have good opportunities with new solutions because, as I said before, innovation is in the DNA of the both companies.
So Alvaro, can I ask you a question? What was the panel about? I forgot.
So the panel was about teleports, about understanding the ROI, about...
So talking about the ROI, I have the answer. Best price. Thank you.
was going to say, not sure I can follow that comment. No, I think when you look at the value that Integrasys has brought to our business over the past 4 or 5 years and helping with the installation and commissioning process, there's definitely parts of that process you guys have made much easier for our customers to deploy. You've made it a more accurate deployment, saving costs in the long run to them. All those things are definitely measurable ROI. I think as we look at the amount of capacity that's going up, you look at the size of the networks that are going to grow and scale, we'll need to continue to innovate all the way to the point auto commissioning means different things to different people, what the definition may be. But looking at the number of sites that are going to deploy, we need to continue to refine that process. And in a lot of cases, they want it to be one-touch commissioning. You know, not even a qualified installer, but something that can be done by somebody that's not usually in the satellite industry. And so I think we need to continue to push the envelope on that front and continue to work together to develop things that make it easier for all of our customers to grow and support these networks as they expand to much greater numbers.
Thank you. I would like to invite all the attendees to think about the tough question to ask Hugo. No, just kidding. Is there any question from the audience that you would like to ask any of the panelists? Feel free to ask. Yes.
Just one point. You said ask the panel questions, but you didn't say ask yourself. So this one's for you. Obviously, earlier today we heard about satellite operators probably linking up with other satellite operators for roaming capabilities and HTS and LEOs. How do you see the Integrasys model working in that environment where operators may be in relationship with other operators, and obviously you need equipment in SAS sites, Earth stations. So is there a model that you're looking at to support that going forward?
Yes, there is a model that we are looking to support. We are thinking about supporting not only a CapEx model, we are thinking in creative ways to address a more affordable HTS or constellation deployment and how to address different customers with different needs. So as well as we did a control sat HTS tailor-made, we are thinking in different business models and we are gathering suggestions from customers that they want to proceed to have the systems and the service, and they see a value on providing a service themselves to their customers, but they are not able to fund the CapEx upfront. So we are thinking in the creative business models in order to optimize that particular investment. So thank you very much for joining our partner summit. Thank you very much for joining the panel discussion by WTA. And we look forward to continue working with you as you are the very strategic partners for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.